Virtual reality, or VR, for a long time was seen as the future of gaming, promising to transport players into fully immersed digital worlds, allowing them to interact with environments, characters, and stories in ways that traditional gaming platforms could never achieve. While VR gaming has seen significant growth in the last decade, it has also faced various challenges, including technological limitations, cost, and content development. Despite these hurdles, VR's potential to revolutionize gaming remains vast. The increasing technological advancements in hardware, software, and content creation, coupled with a growing demand for immersive experiences, signal that VR could still indeed be the future of video games. The primary advantage of VR over traditional gaming systems is the depth of immersion it promises. Standard games, even those with breathtaking, earth-shattering graphics and compelling narratives, still operate within the confines of a screen. Players are limited to observing the game world from an external perspective, using traditional controllers to interact with it. VR removes this separation, allowing players to become part of the game. With VR headsets, hand tracking controllers, and haptic feedback devices, players are not just viewing a digital world, they are within it. They can look around in 360 degrees, reach out to touch or manipulate objects, and feel the feedback from their actions. The potential for immersion makes VR uniquely suited to a range of game genres. In first-person shooters, for example, players can physically aim and fire their weapons. In puzzle games, they can interact directly with objects in three-dimensional space. Even in narrative-driven games, VR offers the opportunity for a deeper emotional engagement, as players experience stories from a first-person perspective, feeling as though they are inside the world and the narrative is happening all around them. The ability to fully inhabit a game world offers a level of presence that is just different to achieve on traditional platforms. One of the key challenges for VR gaming has been the limitations of hardware, particularly in the early days of consumer VR. High-end headsets were expensive, required powerful PCs to run, and often suffered from issues such as low resolution, limited field of view, and latency, which could cause motion sickness. Some other early VR systems were also cumbersome, requiring external sensors and a multitude of cables, which hindered accessibility and mass adoption, just like the PSVR and even the PSVR 2 right now. However, significant advancements in VR hardware are addressing these issues. Standalone headsets like the MetaQuest series have removed the need for external sensors and powerful gaming PCs, offering wireless freedom and ease of use. These headsets are more affordable, making VR accessible to a wider audience. Moreover, improvements in daily technology have led to higher resolutions and wider fields of view, while innovations in motion tracking and haptic feedback are enhancing the sense of presence and immersion. Eye tracking and hand tracking technologies are also becoming more sophisticated, allowing for more intuitive and natural interactions within virtual environments. Another exciting development is the increasing miniaturization of VR technology. Companies are working on smaller, lighter headsets that will reduce the barriers to entry and make long-term play sessions more comfortable. Combined with improvements in battery life, these innovations will help VR appeal to a broader range of gamers, from hardcore enthusiasts to even casual players. While hardware improvements are crucial, the success of VR gaming also depends on the quality and variety of the games and experiences available. In the early years of VR, the game library was relatively limited, and many titles felt more like tech demos than fully realized experiences. However, as the platform has matured, developers have begun to slowly unlock the potential of VR, creating games that are not just playable in VR, but also designed from the ground up to take advantage from its unique features. Games like Half-Life Alyx, Beat Saber, and The Walking Dead: Saints and Sinners have shown what is possible when developers embrace VR's capabilities. Half-Life Alyx in particular set a new standard for VR game design, blending a rich narrative, intricate level design, and innovative mechanics that are only possible in virtual reality. These games are examples of how VR can provide experiences that simply cannot be replicated on traditional platforms. Moreover, developers are beginning to explore new ways to integrate VR with other gaming trends, such as multiplayer and social gaming. Social platforms like VR Chat and Rec Room allow players to meet, interact, and play games together in virtual spaces. These platforms offer a glimpse of how VR could evolve into a social hub, combining gaming with elements of online communities and social networks. As multiplayer VR games continue to grow in popularity, the lines between gaming, socializing, and entertainment will likely blur, creating new opportunities for interaction and collaboration in virtual spaces. Despite the progress made, there are still significant challenges that need to be addressed for VR to become the dominant gaming platform. Accessibility remains a concern. Although prices for VR hardware have dropped, high-quality systems are still significant investments, and not all gamers can afford them. Additionally, while standalone headsets are more user-friendly, they still cannot match the graphical fidelity of high-end PC-tethered systems, limiting the types of experiences that can be delivered. To overcome these barriers, VR hardware needs to continue becoming more affordable and versatile. This could be achieved through partnerships between hardware manufacturers and gaming studios, or possibly the use of cloud-based gaming to stream high-fidelity VR experiences without the need for expensive hardware. Another challenge is the variety of content available. While the number of VR games has grown, the medium is still relatively niche compared to traditional gaming platforms. To reach a broader audience, VR needs more content that appeals to a wide range of players, from casual gamers to hardware enthusiasts. This could include everything from big budget, narrative-driven experiences to shorter arcade-style games that are easy to pick up and play. Games like Beat Saber and Rush of Blood, for example. The development of cross-platform compatibility will also be important for the future of VR gaming. Many gamers are reluctant to invest in a VR system if it means they have to buy games and content exclusively to that platform. By creating more cross-platform games, where players on traditional consoles or PCs can interact with VR players, developers can expand the potential user base and make VR more appealing to gamers who might otherwise be hesitant to adopt the new technology. However, this seems like a strange concept that ultimately may not necessarily function properly, or it could put the VR player at a disadvantage in a PvP scenario. Also, we need Nintendo VR. While Nintendo is no longer known for its powerhouse consoles, it is known for innovation, and while it recently somewhat dabbled into VR, and it was honestly quite awful, Nintendo could eventually be the gaming developer that changes VR forever. Known to make wacky and unconventional ideas work, they have the potential to make some type of VR work and be a staple in any household. Their past with the Virtual Boy may possibly worry them into dabbling into the market, but with today's technology and with their incredibly recognizable IPs, they can make a modern-day VR set a must-buy for gamers. Imagine an immersive VR world of Pokemon, revisiting the Kanto region and stumbling across your first Pidgey in the grass, looking up and watching it fly into the all-consuming blue sky, or finding yourself in a dark and thrilling dungeon from the world of Legend of Zelda. These concepts are more than exciting enough to sell gamers onto the idea of VR if they haven't yet. It could introduce anyone into VR gaming and be a catalyst for more companies to follow suit. Although VR gaming has faced its share of challenges, the continued advancements in hardware, game design, and content variety suggest that virtual reality could still be the future of gaming. The unparalleled immersion that VR offers, combined with the potential for new social and economic experiences, positions it as a transformative force in the gaming industry. As the technology becomes more accessible and developers continue to innovate, VR has the potential to move from a niche platform to a mainstream form of entertainment, changing not only how we play games, but how we interact with digital worlds altogether. The future of gaming is not merely on the screen, but all around us, in the immersive, interactive worlds of virtual reality. And I, for one, hope to see the day where this scene from Futurama becomes a reality.